Welcome race fans. This is Ron with Bigg Wizurd TV. I want to welcome everybody out to our Procraft Formula 1 race tonight. We've got a lot of action for you on track tonight. Nice historic race for you. Race number 2 on the calendar for the Procraft Formula 1 series. These guys are up and running. We're just about through with practice. Got about 15 minutes left in the practice session, so we'll get things kicked off here with a little bit of recap and cover what's been going on. All right, since our last broadcast, the Procraft Formula 1 series has changed homes. Now known as the Procraft Formula 1 series, exclusively sponsored by Procraft. We're here on the air with Bigg Wizurd TV. Let's make sure all my audio is working here. Well, looks like it is. And yeah, big change. Christian Bishop, our points leader at the moment, is the admin of the new league on iRacing and the new Discord server. If you want to get involved, you need to jump out there and get on the Discord server. You can check out all the details on the league over at twoleagues.com. TWOLEAGUES. Twoleagues.com. Check them out. You can get info on joining the Procraft Formula 1 series and racing with everybody. We've got everything live here on the stream. I've got myself. Hey, everybody. Camera up and going this week. Last week we were in the W12. Everybody runs in the Mercedes W12 on the regular weeks, and this week we're running in the Lotus 79. So let's hit some details here. We've got the track. Let's talk about the track for a minute. Watkins Glen. Here it is, 11 corners at Watkins Glen, and we're looking at 3.37 miles. Originally opened with this configuration in 1957, and this is called the Classic Boot. There is one variation to this in today's world where there's a chicane down the long stretch before you get to the back chute. But this is the track we'll be running on tonight. Watkins Glen International, the Classic Boot configuration. And here is our car. We're going to be running in the Lotus 79. This car was made and raced in 1978 and 1979 in Formula 1. And that car ran here at Watkins Glen. It was debuted in 1978. Constructors Champion win from 1978 and a Drivers Champion win in this car for Mario Andretti in 1978. Mario, one of the greatest drivers in so many disciplines. He has won Formula 1, IndyCar, sprint cars, everything that he jumped into, he won. So unbelievable. Some great stuff there by the famous Mario Andretti. All right, we're here with practice. Looks like a little incident there on the backstretch. That's exiting the boot. The track has some pretty famous corners here. We've got, as you look, let's do a run through on a lap. We should have plenty of time to do that. We'll go through and follow a car here. Let's see who's somebody we can chase around here. Let's try our leader at the moment, Eric Peter. He's just exiting the boot now. We'll drop into roll bar camera and we'll watch him do a lap. He's just finishing up now. He's in turn 10 here. Right-hander in coming down the front straight, the pit straight. Pit lane is on the right-hand side. You see, watch that yellow line on the right goes into the pit lane. And here goes Eric on a hot lap. Nope, he's not going to do a hot lap for us. He is done with his lap, so let's see if Theo will do a hot lap for us. Down the pit straight, into turn 1. Tight right-hander for turn 1. 90-degree corner, up through the S's. Flat out up here through the S's. And down this back straight. This is where the bus stop would be, right there where that Sunoco sign is where the bus stop would normally be. But not running the bus stop because we're running historic, and this is the historic track. This area is called the chute as they drop down into the boot of the track. Turn 8 here is the heel, and then turn 6 is the chute. Turn 7 here is the toe, and we're coming around to turn 8, which is the heel. And then coming up on probably the toughest corner on the racetrack right here, turn 9. You'll see a lot of incidents here. Off camber, about 120-degree corner. Theo handles it well. Around turn 10. A little bit wide. And down the pit straight. Across the finish line. And that is a lap here at Watkins Glen. Big thanks to Theo for letting us watch him drive around. Hey, Zeri, thanks for joining us, man. Thanks for being on with us. Zeri Bug, appreciate you. Always like to have viewers on as we're doing our little stream here. We have, so far, we've got 19 drivers on the racetrack. We're just finishing up our practice session. They got just over 10 minutes to go. And Eric Heater from Eric Heater Motorsports is currently out front on top. Now, this car is much different than the modern car. I mean, this car was made in 1978, the Lotus 79. It was raced in Formula 1 for 2 years, but it is not the same as setting up a car today. There are nowhere near the same settings you can put on the car. There are no tire compounds tonight. I actually have those on because I usually do watch those. But, since this car has one tire compound, as the way it was in the old days, you get one compound. So we'll drop that off the chart and it'll give us a little more room on the screen. We don't need to see that they're all in the same tire because they can't change it. Normally when we run the W12, you have to change tire compounds during the race, and that adds into the strategy. So we're missing out on that tonight with the historic car, but you definitely have the challenge of setting this thing up so it's fast and getting your getting your car set up to make it handle and be fast at the same time. Eric Heater has figured that out by about a half second over everybody else. Zeri, favorite driver, that's a really good question. I've been watching these guys now for about, at least 6-8 months, but this is a whole new crowd. We've got a lot of new drivers out here. We can go through them. We've got plenty of time here to cover the drivers. We have a whole bunch of teams, but the one that won last season and also won last week, even with all the new drivers, Christian Bishop, in the 26, extremely fast out there. He does not have one of the top times yet today. He is actually in 9th, 2 seconds off the leader. But when it comes to race time, Christian knows how to run them. So we'll see how it goes. Not having tire strategies, having the older car might make a little bit of difference. We'll see. How about you? Do you have a favorite out there, Zary Bug? Let me know what you think. And I'll go through the drivers and teams here. We'll talk about a few of them. Now, Christian's teammate, Kelly, is not here tonight, so he's running half team full snow cone. I'm not going to have his driver with him. We're also missing Josh Lowe, but he may show. Oh no, he's here. He's in the number 10 tonight. He's usually in the number 18, but you know, since they just changed leagues, and I think that's Josh stuck in the wall. Yeah. As we go to Josh stuck in the fence. They just changed leagues and got new numbers out, so they don't all have the right numbers here on my chart. Thanks very much, Christian, for giving me bad info. But no, it's all good. It's all good. Josh Lowe out there in the number 10 tonight. We'll see if he gets back out on the track here. Right now, he's hanging out in pit lane for me. Martin Wallace, also a really good driver out there, pretty fast in the 666. He's in it. He's 6th place tonight so far in practice, pretty quick. One of my other favorites from another league I've been following for a couple of years is the 88 of Morgan Teggy. Morgan is one of those guys that is just fast everywhere. He's running for Rust Belt Racing, teammates with Adam Novotny, who is actually right there with him on the clock, 131.9 versus a 132 flat. Morgan is class act, man. He's extremely fast. You can see here his I rating. He's 3,200, really quick, does a great job. 86, huh? 86. Let's see who we got. Let's check him out. Steve Banting. All right. Steve's out there on track, 15th tonight, trying to pick it up. Got a few laps in, 3 seconds off the pace, but you know, 3 seconds off the pace at Watkins Glen is still pretty fast. So, you know, it's going to be a long race, and we'll see how it goes. So, again, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you being out here with me. So far, it's just, well, there's a bunch of people out here, but they aren't telling me who they are. So far on the stream talking, it's just me and you. So. All right. Let's go through some more drivers. See, Christian, we talked about Christian Morgan. Actually, why don't we hit points? Why don't we talk about point standings? Christian Bishop, followed by Morgan Teggy. After him, Luke Peters, Chris Springer, and Eric Heater are your top 5. And all those guys are here tonight. Morgan, we just talked about. Luke Peters running for Eric Heater Motorsports. And those guys are both up there in the top 3 in practice. So both really quick. Let's see, Chris Springer, let's see where he's running from. Chris Springer teams, I think I've seen him before. He's running for Harry Lama Racing with, oh, there goes Steve, just popped up another spot. Nice job. Brandon Dooley is Chris's teammate, and running up near in that top 10 area. Yeah. So this isn't our normal week race format. So really glad you are tuning in. And if you're not familiar with Formula One, these are at whatever time it is. Now this was 1978, so they're not going to be the fastest cars on the planet today, but they were in 1978. Formula One has the most downforce, the most grip, and the most horsepower of any car out there. They're not necessarily the fastest of any car. The Indy car, which looks very similar to this car, run in the United States typically. United States, Canada, Mexico. Whereas Formula One runs all over the world. They're currently on a break this last weekend, but I think they might be on another break this weekend. But they run all over Europe, Japan, Saudi Arabia, United States, Mexico, all over the place. They're everywhere. So Formula One, great stuff to watch and great stuff to race. These cars, these 79s are quite a handful. They don't have any of the new modern suspension parts, suspension capabilities. So very, very difficult to drive. So I'm glad These guys are out here doing it so we can watch them tonight. More drivers, more drivers. Let's talk about more drivers. We talked about Luke Peters, Chris Springer, Eric Heater. Adam Novotny is Morgan Tegge's teammate there. They're in 4th and 5th on the clock, just 6 and 7/10 off the pace. Vincent Tramontana and Landon Padronos. Those guys. I don't think Vincent is on. Landon is definitely here. He's in the 11th spot, running in 78. Checking to see if he changed numbers on me. There's Landon. Red striped Procraft paint job with the stars on it. That looks nice. You can see him getting squirrely there as he comes through turn 8. The heel of the boot. There, I was going to say there's the toughest corner of the racetrack, and there's Landon showing us it is so. Definitely tough to get around turn 9. Off camber. Interesting banking. As these guys go side by side. Going by Josh Lowe. The draft is huge here. These cars can definitely draft, get behind each other, and use that little vacuum of air that falls behind the cars to make them go a little quicker. Still no Kelly Bishop tonight. Brandon Dooley, Martin Wallace out on track tonight. Phil Blackburn, Jason Chess. All these guys are out with us on the road. Let's see. Nope, missing those guys. Missing Grigor tonight. Skylar Vickroy is on track with us. Is he in the number 12? He's in the pits in number 12. He is. Good group of drivers tonight. Todd Schwartz is running tonight. He is. I thought he was on one of the teams. Man, it's really hard to keep up with all this. There's a lot of information out here. Darkita Motorsports, Eagle Racing Team, Phil Blackburn, Vincent Tramontano. And Vincent is on track, and Vincent is fast again. Vincent loves this racetrack. I've raced with Vincent in some other race leagues, and he is extremely fast. I partnered up with him on a team race at Spa. Look out, man. I know Spa really well. Vincent out here on the racetrack following Josh Lowe around. Now let me tell you what's going on the screen if you're new to this type of iRacing fun stuff. Top left, of course, you got your track map. The car with the dot that's bigger is the one we're looking at. And that transfers over to the other two charts. There's a standings chart on the right, on the top, and then a relative chart on the bottom. And the driver that's orange on those charts is the one we're looking at. So if we're looking at Vincent right now, he's the one in the number 21 car. You can see him highlighted here. And also, he is in orange. He's got the bigger dot, and he's in orange on the right as well. So we're just about getting going for qualifying. I do have fastest lap lit up right now, and we'll leave that on there for qualifying. And then during the race, I'll put in last lap so we can see how people are doing. And then hopefully I can get fastest lap info to you. But let me move that just a little bit over. Give us a hair more screen to see. But yeah, bottom center is how many laps are in the race. We'll see that when the race starts. Right now, qualifying has started. You can see the drivers are pulling out on the racetrack right now. And qualifying is not something where you want to be right on top of each other. So everybody coming out together is going to cause a problem, as usual. The good thing is that we have healing damage turned on. The Procraft Formula 1 series uses healing damage, which means if you run into another car or a wall, or just go off track and cause damage to your car, it will fix itself, which is great. But you still lose time if you're off track. To these guys, as fast as they are and as good as these drivers are, if you're off track, even for a couple of seconds, you're going to lose spots. Right now, we can see the drivers going down the back stretch, or down that long stretch. Yeah, I guess that's the back stretch. Getting The tires warmed up, ready for their qualifying run. Now these guys don't have the battery boost system that the battery boost system that the newer cars have, where they have a button they can push or a control system they can use to give them extra horsepower. These cars just raw engine power, coming right to the back tires only. No all-wheel drive or anything. It's just straight rear wheel power, which is why you can see the rear wheels are so big on the back of the car. And the downforce from the wing, actually this whole car is downforce. The whole car is a wedge that creates aero push. It creates the air pushing downward on the car and allows them to get grip as they go around the corners. So lap times, they're on. The laps are just starting. Let's see how they do. We should be getting some lap times fairly soon. They have to do at least warm up. Oh, there goes one around. That was, oh, and another one right after him. He probably made a slight adjustment to miss the other car and spun out. And it's possible with this car, the way these tires are, if you spin, you heat up the tires, and if they're a little too hot, you cannot get your traction back. So really complicated tire, the tires are critical to getting your best lap. So you watch Theo catch a little bit of draft and go past Landon. Down the back stretch into the short chute and down into the boot. Here comes your times. Martin Wallace, first one with the time on track, followed by Will Edwards. And Chris Springer throwing down a good lap here. 132. Morgan Teggy drops down a 131. Christian Bishop also with the 131. Now with these cars, they can set them up special just for qualifying. So what they're going to do is they're going to have a lighter fuel load, just to make sure the car is as light as possible as they go on their qualifying laps. So they might only get like 1 or 2 laps. They do have a 15-minute session. So what they'll do is they'll go out and do their lap. They'll pull in the pits, or they'll just stop and hit a button and put themselves in the pits. Get a new set of tires and another light fuel load, and go out and try it again. There's no tire limitations in this series. You can do that in iRacing, and in real life, obviously, you have limitations on how many tires you can use. They don't grow on trees, but they do grow on digital, so we can have as many as we want. So what they'll do is they'll run a couple quick laps with low fuel, run the car out of gas, and see, as you can see, I think Vincent Tramontana was just doing that. Ran it out of gas, and he'll bring it back to the pit lane, start over again. You can see he is now in the pit lane. Coming out now again, you can see the little number 21 pulling out of the pits. So Landon, trying to get a good lap, has caught a car. That's going to hurt his lap. Eric Heater just ran the fastest lap of qualifying. These two guys both trying to get qualifying laps in. Landon and Theo still right here together, and doesn't look like either one of them is going to be able to pull away. So that really makes it difficult, because you're slowing down a little different on the corners with another car in front of you. You do get a little advantage of a draft down the straights, but it kind of messes up your qualifying times if you have another car that close to you. So but, these guys look like they got it sorted out. Morgan Teggy runs another quick lap, still in second spot, 4/10 back of provisional pole leader Eric Heater at the moment. So qualifying, 15 minutes, everybody's out on track together, everybody at the same time. This is how we do it in iRacing. In Formula One today, in modern Formula One, they run in segments. Like the first section of qualifying, everyone will be out on track, and then they cut 5 cars off. The slowest 5 go to the pits and stay there, and then the next guys, the 15 go, because there's 20 cars right now. We're pushing for 22 though. We really want the Andretti team to be allowed to race in Formula One next year. We really like to see that, but so far they have not. Formula One has not announced that's going to happen. So 20 cars, 20 go out for the qualifying, then they drop 5 off and go again. They're what they call qualifying number 2. And then they drop 5 off at the end of that and go again, and that's qualifying number 3. The other thing to note here on iRacing, a little different than real life, is if you have any error at all, if you go off track, and just a little bit, if you went off track by 2 inches, the lap wouldn't count. There are track limits out here. Typically it's the white line, but you can go over it at times in certain corners. But those track limits have to be followed, and if you step over the track limits too far, then it'll give you an incident point penalty, and if that happens, you do not get your lap. So the laps only count if they're clean racing laps. As you can see there in the exit of turn 11, they do go a little wide coming around the corners. And this is Todd Schwartz going around Christian. Oh, and we're going to switch over to Landon. I do have it set for the most exciting events on the racetrack. We will skip off of that and go through the field a couple times, follow certain drivers, follow some action that I can see using the tools that I have. And we'll try to get some replays if it's something I catch and show you what's going on as we go through the race. I do have a cool replay spot, so you don't have to watch me rewinding the video. Just by myself here. I don't have anybody in the booth with me. It's just me hanging out with you guys online. So another 7 minutes, 6.5 minutes of practice of qualifying, and then we'll get underway. We'll line them up in a grid. We'll line 2 by 2 on the front stretch. Standing starts. The lights go off, and the cars go green. So I do have a flag indicator I needed to move. I lost it earlier. Some of these overlays are hard to find, so I'll see if I can get that fixed for you by the end of the race today, or end of qualifying. See if I can get my flag to the right spot on the screen so you guys can see it. All right, we're just kind of hanging in here, waiting for these guys to finish this up. Let's have one of our sponsors. Let's have a word from our sponsor here. We've got Procraft as our primary sponsors. That's Procraft Media out of California. These guys are awesome. Thanks for putting everything on for us. And then Bigg Wizurd TV, that's me, Bigg Wizurd TV. Now my main sponsor for Bigg Wizurd TV is Stair Fittings Incorporated. Stair Fittings makes stair parts. So if you need stair treads or risers or skirts or aprons or handrails or anything like that, they make it. And I'll tell you what, those guys are awesome. They do some great work. It's great stuff. Orders at stairfittings.com. You can check out what they have. Orders.stairfittings.com. Check them out. If you need something for your house or your stairs, call them up. Go to the website, get the phone number, see what they have, and call them up. Ask for Karen. Aunt Karen, you can call her, and tell her that Bigg Wizurd sent you. She'll take care of you. All right, what else we got here? Another sponsor. We've got Grandpa's Kitchen. Now, if you are or know anyone that has celiac disease, these guys are the people you need to talk to. Grandpa'sKitchen.com. They sell gluten-free flour and baking kits. They have a lot of recipes for gluten-free. Whoa! Wow! That was intense. Kelly Bishop has made it to the racetrack. We're up to 20 drivers, and he was just wiped out in an incident there going down on his qualifying lap. Anyway, back to our sponsor, because that was pretty intense. Grandpa'sKitchen.com. They have gluten-free flours and kits, baking kits, great stuff. I'll tell you what, I am not gluten. I'm not somebody that has to be gluten-free. I have tried all this stuff. I know these guys personally. These guys are awesome. Check them out at grandpaskitchen.com. And if you know someone or need some of this stuff, 10% off with the discount code BWTV. That's Bigg Wizurd TV. BWTV gets you 10% off. Primary sponsor, secondary, well, one of our great sponsors here at Bigg Wizurd TV, Grandpa's Kitchen, and a very close friend of mine. So, grandpaskitchen.com. Thanks for checking it out. All right, back to the racing action. We've got qualifying 3 minutes to go. Let's see where we're at next, since we're just about done here. Last week we raced the kickoff for the season 1 of the Procraft Formula 1 series. Last week we were at Monza in Italy, really one of the most iconic racetracks in the world. I don't know that any of the Formula 1 racetracks are not the most iconic racetracks in the world, but Monza is definitely one of the biggest. That's where they were last week. Our winner, Christian Bishop, is out here today. Not on the top of the pile so far, though. It's going to be an interesting race. We'll see how that goes. Today we're at Watkins Glen. Next week we go to Japan. We'll be at Fuji International Speedway next week. And I'll be right here with you from the booth at Bigg Wizurd TV. We're going to catch that race as well. And then we're going to stay in Japan for the following week on October 6th, Thursday nights, Suzuka International Racecourse. Wow, what a track. Suzuka is incredible. And then we're going to be going back to historic. And this one will be one, you want to write this one down on your calendars. Historic Grand Prix in the Lotus 78s that we're running tonight. And we'll be running at Long Beach. And I'll tell you what, Long Beach Street Circuit, bumpy course, with these older cars is going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun. Well, sorry, Zarybug. I didn't realize you were across the pond there. That one might be okay. I don't know if Aunt Karen would ship to England. Grandpa's Kitchen, however, can take care of you. They can ship overseas. It might cost a little more for shipping because flour is not usually the lightest of all products. But, really good stuff if you do need it, or you know somebody maybe stateside that needs some goodies from Grandpa's Kitchen. You know, I've tried their brownies, and I think they taste better than regular flour brownies, honestly. They're awesome. So anyway, I go back to racing as we got 30 seconds left in qualifying. Eric Heater on the point right now. Luke Peters, his teammate, 3/10 back. Is Adam Novotny giving it his best, trying, and spins out. And also Josh Lowe gets caught up in that. This is their last lap because they are 15 seconds to go. Morgan Teggy in third, Chris Springer fourth, Adam Novotny fifth. There's Christian with a good lap in sixth spot, 8/10 off the pace. Martin Wallace in seventh, Landon Paternos in the 8th spot. Vincent Tramontana in 9th, Josh Lowe 10th, Brandon Dooley, Phil Blackburn, Will Edwards, Jason Chess, Skylar Vickroy. There's your top 15. There's Steve there. Steve Banting in 16th, just clicked off a lap and picked up a spot. All right, they'll be able to finish up their laps, but that is it. Time is out. There's my flag. Maybe I can get it moved. Let's see if I can get my flag moved. There we go. I moved the flag. It's not the right spot, though. Okay. All right. Everybody's pulled into the pit lane. We are finished with the qualifying session. Eric Heater takes the pole. He is on the top. Luke Peters, his teammate, outside front row. Now, they had a front row lockout last week, and Christian still ended up taking him at Monza last week. So we'll see how they do tonight. Morgan is chomping at the bit as well. Finished second last week. Was that second for Morgan last week? It was. And Luke Peters finished in third. Now, Eric Heater Motorsports, both drivers finished in the top 5 last week. So that's pretty impressive. no other team had that two top 5 drivers, so really good there. Yes, Eric is definitely on fire tonight. All right, I gotta figure out how to make all those cool emojis and everything fly up there. I'm kind of not familiar with having actual live people talk to me on the air. This is awesome. I love it. We'll wait for the clock to tick down. I don't think we're going to have to wait a full 15 more minutes. It should click over to race fairly soon, although I don't know what has happened here. Session says it's over. Hopefully that'll click out soon and we'll be able to get on to the race. Messages coming in. There we go. Don't think we need to see the pace car. Waiting for the grid. Hey, no problem, man. I'm here with you. I'm here all night. I'm not going anywhere. So let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy the race. All right, they're lined up. We got to get everybody out there in the grid. We're missing a few drivers, but as you can see on the top right, the ones with the white highlighted numbers are the ones that are on the grid. Still waiting for the other ones. Now these guys have a few minutes now. They're going to be able to change their setups. They would be able to have a few minutes to go in the garage, go from their qualifying setup to their race setup, and from that point they can get back out on the grid. They'll have more fuel. Obviously for qualifying you want the low fuel load, but for the race you're going to want full fuel. I believe on these 78s you can put fuel in them, but you do have to come to the pit lane to do so. I'm not sure if he's got any settings tonight for requiring the drivers to come into the pit lane during the race. Normally in Formula 1 you have to make one pit stop during the race, so we'll have to watch for that. That strategy comes in. You can change tires, get a little better grip out there, get some more rubber. So yeah, we're looks like we're ready to go. They're fired up. You can hear the engines roar. And there they go. They're off. The lights are off, and away they go. Track is green. Eric gets a great jump, but hey, right there with him is Morgan. Oh, as they go 3 wide, 4 wide into turn 1. That doesn't work. Big pile up going into turn 1. The cars are trying to get straightened around. The leaders are away. The drivers can continue. The healing damage will fix all those cars, but man, what a pile up into turn 1. But we are underway and racing here at Watkins Glen. Eric Heater, followed by Luke Peters, the teammates out front, followed by Morgan Teggy, Chris Springer, Adam Novotny. These guys got away along with Christian Bishop. These guys managed to sneak away from the rest of the pack as they got tied up in turn 1. There's not much of a gap though, but we will see the timing chart will change as they cross the line. Ran into this problem last week where there's so many cars in this series that in order to see them all, I have to turn off the live scoring. So you'll see the order as they cross the line, across the start-finish line. Right now, leaders are going through the boot, coming out of the boot and about ready to cross into turn 10 and down the front straight again. Trying to get back up with the leaders here. We go. There's Eric. As he goes wide, we'll get the running order as they go across. Luke Peters is the first one across the line, followed by Morgan Teggy, Adam Novotny, Christian Bishop, Chris Springer, Will Edwards, and Steve Banting up to P7. Way to go, Steve. Rock on, buddy. Keep it going. He must have been able to miss that mess at the beginning. And he got away. So good job. Here's our leader, Luke. Followed by teammates Morgan Teggy and Adam Novotny, second and third. Christian Bishop, as I said, he's always there in fourth in the 26 car. Never count him out. He is right there, and he is battling with Adam Novotny right now. Adam on the outside. as they go through the boot into the toe. Still line astern right now. Nobody's trying to jump ahead at the moment. The top 5 are in place and seemingly happy. Now Steve is back here. Let's see what he's doing. He's the second pack. He's got Will Edwards in front. This order has changed. Oh, and somebody's around. Someone is around. That looked like, I don't know who that was. That was the, I missed that one. Can't find him on the racetrack. Let's see who that was. There was definitely a black car in the fence. Since they can turn the car heals itself, they don't have to go back to the pits. So I can't tell who it is by who went to the pit lane. Because the car fixes itself and they just keep going. So as they go through, the order changes again. Luke Peters still out front. Morgan Teggy, Christian Bishop, Adam Novotny, Chris Springer, Will Edwards. That is your top 6. Now there's a gap between 5th and 6th. Chris Springer is with that top front group up there in the 56. He's still hanging out of the back of this pack. But the number 7 of Will Edwards, he is back a good distance. He's got about a 4-second gap between him and the car in front of him. And then back to Phil Blackburn in the 22 is another 4.5 seconds. But Todd Schwartz right there with him. He's not letting that go. These guys are right together, followed by Landon Paternos and Martin Wallace in the 666. Skylar Vickroy is also there with him. This bunch is tight. This is the pack. As they come down into the heel, we'll watch them go here. As that is the battle for 7th spot all together. 6 cars trying for 1 spot on the racetrack. We'll see who gets it. This race so far looks like Luke Peters has, and that was one of the one of the cars. Oh man, it was either the 88. That was the 88 of Morgan Teggy who lost that. Let's see if we can catch that on a replay. We'll check out my replay video here. Boom. Come on, Morgan. What'd you do, buddy? As we find this, hopefully we'll have it here. Morgan comes off the turn, final turn 11, and just loses it. Hits the wall, car gets fixed, and away he goes. Let's go back to live racing action. Morgan lost a couple spots. He's now back there with Will Edwards off that lead. So the lead pack is now just 4. Luke Peters in the blue and black livery. Here he is out front, and he's getting a little bit of a gap. He's got 2 seconds now. He was quickest by a half a second or more during qualifying. It looks like he has been able to translate that to the race. But look at Mr. Reliable here coming in the 26 car in the black and silver Procraft painted Lotus. That is Christian Bishop now in 2nd spot, but is losing time to the leader, 2.5 seconds back. Adam Novotny lost his teammate, but still running strong. Those guys are in the AlphaTauri paint job from Rust Racing. I gotta find all these teams and figure them out. Rust Belt Racing. And they have a AlphaTauri logo on the front of the car. And that's Adam in 3rd, Chris Springer in the 56. This is the top group, the top 4 drivers. Battling for 2nd at the moment as Luke Peters is checking out with a 2.5 second gap. Christian's holding that gap pretty steady. Morgan in the 88 had that spin coming off turn 13 on lap 3, but he is back on the horse and going again. Adam's teammate in P5, pulling away from the number 7 of Will Edwards. Landon Paternos in the 78. has fallen back. It looks like Eric Heater has gotten by him in the 28. I'll have to wait till the line to see that change on the scoreboard, but yeah, that looks like a pass for position as Eric Heater pulls up into the 7th spot. Landon back to 8th, followed by Phil Blackburn, and that little group staying pretty close together, with Martin Wallace just a little bit behind him, just in tow there. He's the 4th car in line. Out of that group battling for P7. So we are rocking and rolling here tonight. Thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate everybody being here. We do have a great broadcast for you. We've got some great sponsors. Procraft being our main sponsor for the Formula 1 series. Appreciate those guys. Also, it's good to have the sponsors from Bigg Wizurd TV here with Stair Fittings Incorporated, Grandpa's Kitchen. It's good to have everybody on board and keep all this running. You know, those sponsors keep the races rolling. It might not seem difficult to do because we're not out on a real racetrack or something in our houses. But this takes time and energy and money. You know, you got to have a computer that'll run it. You got to have all these cars and tracks. And the sponsors take care of that for us. They also pay for the server time so we can have these awesome races. Appreciate those guys. Thank them for being around. Can't do it without them. All right. This battle back here, Kelly Bishop in the 69 car. It used to be the 710 car. That's why I lost him in the numbers earlier. Kelford is his nickname. You can see it on the rear wing. He is chasing down Jason Chess, and that is a battle for 13th, but he just had a little slip up. Skylar Vickery is catching up with him right on the tail there in that black and white. Oh, and Kelly goes off. Oh, he goes off in the toughest turn on the track. That was turn 9. Let's see if we can get a replay of that one. Let's see here. Kelly. Oh, he's coming out of the, let's see, he's coming out of the boot. He's coming out of the boot and gets a little wide, loses it, tries to correct into the tires and into the wall. Tough break for Kelly, loses those spots, and he'll have to go gain all that space back, and hopefully he will. I'm pretty sure he can do that. Back to the live action. Let's see, what can you guys do? Well, you'd have to get with the race Christian Bishop. If you got a friend in the league, Christian, you can get a hold of Christian and see if there's something you guys can do. Normally we get the sponsors out here to pay for our server time and our making sure we have all the equipment to do everything, including PCs and things like that. If you do want to sponsor Bigg Wizurd TV, I'll definitely put like a banner behind me or something, put your favorite sponsor on there. I'll definitely do that. Send me something that'll that I can hang there, or give me a new headset from your company if that's what you do, or anything like that. We'll definitely put you out there, and you can be a sponsor. Most of the stuff is covered by sponsors. PCs, server time. Right now, since Bigg Wizurd TV is so big, I got my 2 viewers out here tonight. We don't have a huge following to pay for all that stuff, but I do have racing sponsors to help me out, so appreciate those guys. Stair Fittings has been awesome. They've helped me with computer parts, server times. They help with trophies, awards at the end of the series and seasons for these guys. They're great. Good group. Great group of guys over there at Stair Fittings. But yeah, check with Christian Bishop. He's the league owner. He might have something you guys can do to get involved and help the league out. I'm sure there's always something, especially if you're a graphic artist. You make logos, cool stuff. Seems to be the hardest thing to find. All right, Kelly's back on it. He's going again. we'll move back up front and see how things are going. It looks like Luke and Christian are still about where they were when we left them last. But Luke has opened up the gap. Here he is by himself running out front. But 4.5 second gap. You know, it's okay. It's okay, Zerybug, to be just anybody in the company, because that's what I am too. I work for a company. Unfortunately, I don't get to do this all day, every day. I have a company I work for, and I'm just one of the little cogs in the wheel. I'm not even sure I merit a full cog, maybe a half. So yeah, it's fun. I love the racing. Always been passionate about racing, and I like to drive. I don't run in this Formula 1 series, but I race in GT3 and GT4 series in another league on Sundays, and earlier tonight. I love race cars. I watch more racing than I should, and then I watch more on iRacing. So if you do want to get involved in race, that's the thing to do. The thing to do is to get in the car and get out there and race on the track with everybody. These guys run, the simulator is iRacing. You can see at the bottom right corner, iRacing.com. you're just a little bump, huh? Yeah, I know the feeling. But iRacing is where you go to get all the info and details on what they're doing. You can join any leagues. There's hundreds of them out there. They race all different kinds of cars, from beginner style class cars all the way to these Formula 1s, which are definitely the top of the pile. These guys that you're watching tonight, these guys are top-notch drivers. This is not for the faint of heart, and these are not rookies and not beginners. These guys really know what they're doing out here. Great putting on a show for us, as Christian is really putting on a clinic for these guys on what they should be doing. Now, it's still early. We're 13 minutes in on a 44-minute race. We're 10 laps out of 29. So by no means are we done. This may not be the finishing order. One mistake, and somebody's in the wall, and it's pretty much over. So, it can happen. We've seen it happen already. We saw Morgan go around. Eric had a problem on lap 1. Lost some spots. So it's definitely not over. Not even close. Hey, Philip, buddy, how you doing, man? Yeah, I heard you were racing in NHRA. You're battling for the championship. Nice job. Those roundy round cars, right? You're running those trucks over there in NHRA. Great series. Those guys are a lot of fun. So Philip, one of my co-drivers that I've raced with for quite a while now. Super driver. He would do well out here with these guys. We'll see. Maybe in the next season he can get out here. So, all right. Let's see. Christian, second spot, number 26. He's hanging on his own. He's really put himself in a good spot. He's got a 6-second gap to first, which I'm sure he's not too happy about, but stretching that lead, 1.4 seconds over Adam Novotny. Now, Adam is another guy I drive with a lot. Adam is all class, man. He is a great driver, and he has come up through the ranks. He is just extremely great guy, and just kind of got into iRacing about a year ago, I'd say, and he's really come up through quickly. So, let's see. He's in third right now, last step of the podium, but I think Chris Springer in the 56 is maybe thinking he would like that third step of the podium. Chris is right there, only 0.9 of a second back, using the draft on the straightaways, but Adam is still being able to stretch that lead. He's out to a 1 second, starting to pull away. Oh, Xfinity. Okay, Infinity. Okay, all right. That's what they do with the trucks on Friday. Oh, nice. Battling for the championship in both. Good job, Philip. That's really cool, man. It's really exciting. And I'll tell you what, those guys over at NSRA, they are top-notch oval drivers. I mean, Xfinity in trucks, they are no slouches. You have got to be on your game to be battling for the championship in those series. They are as good at what they do as these guys are here. Zerybug, they got a whole series. You can race a whole series of trucks NASCAR Truck Series is one of the most popular series in iRacing. Like compared to everything else, it's got to be top 5 out there in iRacing. People love the trucks. Yeah. So you're not alone. You're all about trucks. A lot of people are all about trucks. If the trucks went right and left, I would do it. But they just go left. So, you know, every once in a while they do the road courses. I like it when you have to turn both ways. Just, I don't know, preference. I used to watch a lot of NASCAR. Now I like these guys. So Chris Springer in P4. Morgan Teggy has gained a little bit back. He fell back a little bit, but he has gained some spots. Now what you can see here though is that Eric Heater, our pole sitter, is now right on Morgan's tail and making things a little uncomfortable for him as the two of these guys battling for P5 at the moment. And oh, Eric takes a little look, tries to get around, but does not make it that lap. This battle is definitely on the front burner as Morgan trying to hold off Eric Heater. And these cars are so evenly matched. They can have different setups in them, but these guys are catching Chris Springer. The two of them together are really putting down the laps. Last lap, oh wow, my little fastest thing, I didn't change. Wow, bad me. I did it wrong. Let me fix that. Laps. Last lap, fastest lap off. Unlock and slide it over so we can actually read it. Good job there, Bigg Wizurd. Okay. So last lap, you can see Morgan Teggy with a 1:33.2, his fastest lap. When the laps are green like that, that's his fastest lap of the race. But Eric, taking advantage of that draft, is going to get him as they go down into the short chute here. And Eric is going to take over P5 from Morgan Teggy. Now, I have watched Morgan race for a long time, and I'll tell you what, that right there does not happen unless the guy that's passing is a world-class race driver. Morgan is really tough to beat. So the road ringer. That's good. Well, after your performance tonight, I would say you're definitely the road ringer in East to West racing as well. But yeah, you guys had a great battle. In other news, East to West Racing is the league that I run on iRacing. It's GT3 and GT4 cars. Oh, as we got one around. Chris Tartamella trying to hang on to it, having a little trouble back there. He is currently running the 17th spot, but went around coming out of the boot. But yeah, Philip and one of our fellow drivers out here, Brandon Dooley, were in a battle today in the GT4 at Daytona. Tell you what, that was a great battle. What an awesome battle. Photo finish, well, not quite photo finish, but I don't think he could have gotten very much closer to your car at the end, but Philip managed to nose it out for the win at Daytona today in the GT4s. Yeah, I tried some laps in the Lotus 79, Philip. I got out there and did some practice laps, and I'm terrible. I'm sure it was not the setup, because you got to be at least halfway decent to care what the setup does. So I was not impressed with myself on that one. So, dream cars. Oh man. You know, I'm a simple man. I am a simple man, Zerybug. I am. My dream car is a 2018 2SS Camaro convertible with the V8. It's got to be a convertible. And the McLaren is definitely a cool car. That F1 GTR was one of the coolest things ever made. But I like to keep it like something I could actually get a hold of someday. And, you know, the convertible Camaro, if you've driven the convertible Camaro, you've driven the SS, it's a blast. The cars are so much fun to drive. I've actually been able to drive a convertible and an SS, but not together. The convertible is just the V6. But yeah, that's it. That's mine. So McLaren F1 GTR, Philip's got $1 million, maybe $2 million wish list driveway for a dream car, and mine's 50 grand. So, you know, hey. I wouldn't mind one of the new Z71 Corvettes. Awesome. All right, well, action is heating up on the track as the drivers up front are catching some lap traffic as we watch the 28 of Eric Heater go around Theo Bishop. How about you, Zerrybug? What's your car? What is it? What do you got, man? What's your dream car out there? I know mine's pretty lame with the Camaro, but man, if you've driven one, they're a lot of fun. Oh, and they go around. Oh, that's another incident. That is Adam Novotny. Oh, no. Adam Novotny is he off track? No, he's stuck right there. He's stuck. He got turned. I think that was a lap car. He was going around and got tied up in him. Oh, bad break for Mr. Novotny. Bad break. He was up in the top 3 and is now fallen back quite a few spots. I'd say he's back probably to 6th or 7th. He's in 6th at this point. And Martin is right on his tail. He is not going to let him go. So, a 1947 Ford truck. Well, that's interesting. Realistic GT500 Shelby, that is a sweet ride. That's a sweet car. The 1947 Ford truck is a beautiful machine. I'm not going to lie. But I'd rather have a sports car. All right, Adam drops back to 6th. He's got Martin all over his tail here as this battle for 6th is underway now that Adam's got his car recovered and back into position. Let's see what we got going on here in the race as we've been chit-chatting about everything else. Luke, man, this guy is on fire. He's gotten around lap cars. He's out front. 9-second gap back to Christian in 2nd spot. Really doing well. We need to get through the latter part of the field so we can talk about everybody tonight. Here's Chris Springer as he goes through the toe and gets passed by Eric Heater. Eric in the 28 getting by. That's for 3rd. Wow, Eric is really on fire here. He is really getting some good laps down. Legends Racing League, he is in the 28 car. Eric is really, really putting on a great race. And, you know, the teammates, Luke and Eric, finished top 5 last week, and it looks like they may have a good chance to do it again. Morgan in the 88 is next car back in the line. He's in 5th now behind Chris Springer in 4th. Morgan has recovered from that early incident and is still 17 seconds back off the lead. Adam, with his incident, went from 3rd down to 6th. In the 326, looks just like the other car. But there's Martin Wallace, you can see right behind him. He's running the John Player special paint job. Beautiful paint job there with the black and gold accents. In the 666, we'll watch him come by here. A little too fast. Sorry, we couldn't get a good angle on it. Maybe that isn't the John Player special. I know there's one out there. Nope, that's just black. He's got some graphics on the side. That looks pretty cool. That is Martin Wallace. Great driver and very good tech guy. Let's see. Down in 8th spot, Landon in the red, white, and blue paint with the stars on it. And Procraft on the side. Beautiful car, beautiful paint job. These cars are not easy to paint. Winged cars don't have a lot of real estate on them to get logos and things. You get like one of those NASCAR trucks, man. You could put like a banner all the way across the side of it, and you get a big, huge flag or something on it. But not these things. You got to really be creative and get some cool paint off there. But, Landon, 34 seconds off the lead, just 2 seconds behind the Adam and Martin battle in front of him. He's trying to catch, but right now holding his own in 8th spot. He is slightly gaining, but I think it's an ebb and flow, staying fairly close. Vincent Tramontana in the 21 car is running in P9, kind of by himself a little bit. He's 3 seconds behind Landon and 3 seconds in front of Brandon. So Landon and Brandon got Vincent in the middle. Brandon in the ever familiar 14 car. Always got the black, purple, and green on the paint job. He's got his paint again tonight as we watch him go down the front pit straight. Crosses the line for finishing up lap number 17. Oh, and Luke is off. Luke is off. Where is Luke? Oh, it's just, okay. It's one of those, you can only see 20 cars at a time thing. Well, we've got 20 cars. Maybe you can only see 19 at a time. Or maybe they just had a glitch. Well, Brandon is in 10th. Let's go back up to the front because he's about to catch some lap traffic. Yeah, the painting is quite amazing. I actually have, if you go out to Bigg Wizurd TV, you're out here now. If you go see the main site, you'll see some painting videos, and I do patterns. I don't paint freehand. I'm sure Steve is much better than I am. But as we see Kelly Bishop bow out of the way for Luke Peters as they go down the front straight. That's what the blue flag should do here in Formula One. You get up behind somebody as the leader, and they should just kind of make it easy for you to get by. Good job, Kelly, for doing that. Now he has caught up with Steve in P15. Only a second and a half back, and at second and a half, that's when that blue flag shows to the driver. So, looks like we lost Philip. Good to have him here for a little bit, and definitely rooting on his fellow drivers that he races with. He was a little upset that Adam had an issue. All right, let's go to P11. If I can figure out who was in P11. That would be Will Edwards. He was up in top 6. He was in P6 for a while. Now he is... Whoa, and there's one around. That was Todd Schwartz. He is in the back of the pack. Todd lost it in turn 1 in the 420. We could probably even do a replay on that one. Let's try it. In turn 1, here he is. Oh, and he just catches the berm a little bit. Oh, just a little slide. No harm, no foul. Keep it going. Get it back in gear. Oh, Philip is still here. Hey, Philip. Cool. I was looking at the number of viewers and it dropped. I thought it dropped down to 1. So. All right, back to live action. Todd made his recovery and kept going. So we were going to go to Will Edwards in P11, running the Red Bull paint. And Jason Chess in P12 in the 255. And he is Landon's partner in that paint job. It's definitely reminiscent of the one on the 78. Absolutely. So Landon and Jason, teammates. Let's check that team out. That is Team VR Fosse. Landon and Jason. All right. So there's your 12th place. 13th, the number 12, Skylar Vickroy. That is a beautiful paint job. That is absolutely beautiful. The arrow point on the nose with the flames on it. That just looks great. Skylar out here on track in 13th. He's about a minute off the lead, so he is getting close to being lapped. Uh-oh, I see some problems for Steve. Oh, that doesn't look good. That 21 laps down usually means he's off the track. So we'll see what happened. Oh, he's back in one. Okay. So he's just, it only shows you a certain number of cars at a time on the racetrack. So we have to be aware of that. Sometimes they pop off and come right back just because of where we are, where we're looking versus where the cars are on the track. So Skylar in 13th. Josh Lowe, actually runner-up in a lot of races last season. Very quick, but a minute down tonight. I think he was involved in that early incident on turn 1. And Kelly Bishop, teammates with Christian Bishop. Now Eric Heater, we missed it as we were talking through the field here. Eric Heater has gotten by Christian Bishop and is now in second place. So Eric, 12 seconds the gap. 13. Luke is still pulling away. Oh, that was a car spinning. But it wasn't our leader. It wasn't the guy in third. And it wasn't Chris Springer in fourth. go back through the field here as we'll catch up with Josh Lowe in the 10 cars where we were. A little cloudy in spots. You see the dark shadows on the racetrack. Kelly Bishop in the 69 running in 15th place. He's caught up with Steve Banting here. Looks like this might be a battle for position, as Steve is in front of Kelly currently. Steve just got by. Yeah, there's a change for position. Steve goes by into P15. Nice job. Good job, Steve. Let's actually... What number is Steve? 86. Oh, did he just spin? I think he did. I was just going to go back and look at it. But Kelly got back by him. So he spun in turn 1. And now he's got a car lap ahead. Adam Novotny in 6th spot, also in front of him. They'll be chasing him around. Steve back to 16th. He was in 15th for a minute. He had it for a minute, and then he lost it. Theo in the 36 car. Theo is in. That's where your Jack Player special. He's got the Olympus paint job on his car. That's the John Player special paint job. That is a famous paint job from 1978. I believe that was the number 5 of Mario Andretti himself. Is that paint job? Oh, another car going around into the wall. The 7, that was Will Edwards. Oh, let's see what happens to Will here. As he's exiting the boot down in the heel. Oh, he touches the grass, comes around. Ah, tough break for Will. As we're going to keep going through the field here. Theo in the John Player special car, and then Chris Tatamella, he is in the number 44, running in P18. Todd Schwartz in the 420 in P19. Oh, there's a car around. That was Josh Lowe. Wow, Josh having a rough... No, that wasn't Josh. Might have been Chris Tatamella. Chris in 18th. A lap down. Now Steve, Theo, Chris, Todd are all lap down. Phil Blackburn giving it his best. He's out there trying, man. He's putting out the laps, doing his best. 2 laps down. He had a good qualifying run, but has not had a good race. He's been in the pits on lap 7. Trying everything he can to keep on it, but not able to make it happen. Let's go back to the front where this battle is still at 13 seconds. Eric has gotten by the rest of the competition except his teammate, Luke Peters, who is the class of the field tonight. We are on lap 24 of 29. It does not look like they needed to pit tonight. They had enough fuel in the car to run the whole race. They did not need to change tires. No one has come in except for one driver, and that's Phil Blackburn in P20. So just about 5 to go this time by, and he's in turn 9, coming up on a lap car that is off the track. He gets by Chris Tatamella without a problem. I don't know if Chris was trying to let him by there or just lost control of the car. But as we watch Luke go across the start-finish line, you will have your leader at 5 laps to go. So we're getting towards the end here. I think we've talked about all kinds of stuff: the drivers, the teams, the race, our favorite cars or trucks, for that matter. Good to have you guys on the stream with me, on the viewers. Nice to have a little chit-chat going on. And We're getting down to it. We're getting down to the end, down to the wire. I can't say things I used to say because they're probably not politically correct. But, you know, we're getting close to the end. Can I say that? Is that politically correct? That individual, that certain gendered individual is warming up. But they're not singing yet. Not over until the singing happens. They're not quite singing. 5 laps to go as we watch Luke go through the boot one more time as he approaches uphill towards the heel. Let's ride along. Let's ride along right in the car with our leader. It's kind of clean track. He doesn't have anything going on at the moment. Morgan Teggy has just passed Christian Bishop. Christian drops down to P5. He must have had something happen, or his tires have worn out. He's still there close. The 22 is hanging with Chris Springer. 22 is laps down. Just trying to watch some of the action here. Luke definitely has this in hand. His teammate Eric in second spot with a 10-second lead over third place Chris Springer, who now has a 5-second gap. That's awesome. You got it. You got it, Zerrybug. I understand, man. I understand, but this is still YouTube, so I gotta behave. Who knows? You know, someday I might be famous. Yeah. So Luke's out front. Eric is catching him. You know, this time of the race, the tires start to wear out. You know, these guys have been racing on these tires for almost 40 minutes. They're still, you know, they're going 44 minutes. For 38, the cars are getting a little slippery. The tires are wearing out. They did not come in for a change in tires at all. And Eric may have managed his tires a little better. He's gone 12 seconds now. Does he have time to close that gap? Doubtful, but it's possible. Chris Springer has moved himself back into third here. I thought I saw Morgan go by him, but no, Morgan is battling back with Christian. So Chris in the 56 in third spot. I forgot to change back to static or the different camera angles. Sorry about that, riding in the roll bar too long there. Chris in P3 trying to get that podium finish. Chris, I've raced with him a lot. He is top-notch, really high-class driver and very fast. Teammates with, that's Brandon Dooley, the teammate there. You know, it's funny, Zerrybug, it's actually hilarious because I have a thing saying inappropriate comments can be held for review, and I had to actually click the button to let your comment show on the screen. That's how our world has gotten. I'm just going to leave it at that. We're going to watch racing because that's what we're here for. It's lap 27. We got 3 to go. Chris Springer in third spot. Here's Morgan, who just took over P4 from Christian, but that looks like a battle that is not over yet. This battle for P4 is ongoing side by side. They go down into the boot, through the toe, or through the chute, now into the toe. They are still side by side. Morgan on the inside. That's Christian on the outside, the black car. As they come around, Morgan had the better position on that one, got the spot. So he's currently in the 4th spot, holding on. But I don't think that battle's over yet. As Christian's coming right back at him. Top leader. Whoa, hold on. What's going on? Hold the phone. Luke may be losing tires. He may be losing grip. He's got 2 laps to go. His teammate Eric Heater just 2 seconds back now. This is for the race lead. Luke had a 13-second gap. He may have lost control of the car. He is holding the 2-second gap. Yeah. Zeri, I'll be here right here in this amateur booth for a very long time. I promise you. If I was going to be famous, I would have been there by now. But I appreciate you being here and all your confidence. So there are the teammates, 1 and 2, Luke Peters, Eric Heater, making up for last week. They did not get the finishes they wanted last week, but they are on it tonight. 1.8 seconds. Eric is a little quicker. I think Luke had a little issue. He lost 11 seconds in 1 lap. Let's go back here to the battle we were watching and see how they're doing. Oh, and cars around, but Christian Bishop has made it past. Oh, and no, he hasn't. Christian Bishop has fallen back. Christian Bishop was just spun. Let's see if we can catch what happened. Christian Bishop has come around. He was battling really close with Morgan. Oh. Let's back it up. Pause. Go. Here we go. He's in front of, he did get in front of Morgan, but right here, look at this. Oh, he just comes around and loses it, hits the wall. Has to use that healing thing. Oh, that's just tough, tough. Oh, and then he's stuck and he can't get the car turned around. Oh, man, that is just not what you want to see this late in the race. No time to recover. He'll be not liking that one. White flag, white flag, white flag for the leader. And another, that was Josh Lowe spinning out. Eric back again to that 11-second, 12-second gap. Man, I'm not sure what happened there for a little while, but that was intense. They were real close, and now the gap is stretched back out. I thought maybe Luke was losing his tires, but that is not the case. The battle now for second heating up between these two drivers. Is that? Oh, there's Eric in front of him. Chris is in front of Josh Lowe. Josh is a lap down, so that is not a battle for position. So if they can finish off the race here, here comes the leader across the line. There's the win. Luke Peters giving us a little wave as he goes across the start-finish line first, followed by his teammate in the 28 as he comes around turn 11. And then we see the 56 in third spot. So there's your podium. Luke, Eric, Chris take the checkered flag. Luke with the victory. Max points for Luke. He had the pole and the win. Or no, he had second spot and the win. So he didn't get max points, but he still got a lot of them. Morgan Teggy battles back from a couple incidents he had throughout the race and finishes in fourth. Adam Novotny also has a little recovery action as we watch him. He's in turn 1 now, past the start-finish line. Finishes P5. I think he'd be pretty happy with that after the incident he ran into, but definitely not going to be happy with the incident. 26, he is definitely... Christian's not going to be the most pleased individual. Yeah, Luke, Eric, Chris, Morgan, Adam, Christian, Martin, Brandon, Vincent, and Jason are your top 10. Wow, what a great race. Great having you guys here on the stream with me. I really appreciate that. It's been a great time watching the race with you and calling it here to see what's going on. The Procraft Racing Series will continue next week. Next week we are going to Fuji and we're going to be back in the W12. Now, I really hope, if you watch tonight, I really hope you'll be back next week, to see the difference in the cars. The cars are absolutely incredible. The W12, obviously one of the fastest, most engineered machinery ever on the planet. 7 championships for the last, I think it's 8 or 9 years for Mercedes. They know how to build a car, and that's what we get to drive. So a lot of fun, and hope to have you guys here. Let me see if I can get somebody here in the booth with me. These guys are supposed to come down to the booth to tell the top 3. So looking for Luke and Eric. See if we can get them down here for a quick word. And also Chris Springer. So maybe we'll have them come down. Maybe we won't. So maybe they can't put themselves in the waiting room. They should be able to though. But I don't want to jump in their chat while they're talking. So let me see. No, I don't think I can do anything. I think I'm stuck. I think I'm stuck here. Just me and you guys hanging out, waiting for them to show up. Post race, wanted to talk to Luke and Eric. I could jump up into their chat room. Not sure if that's allowed. Let's see what happens if I go make a mess. How big of a mess will I make? All right, I'm gonna mute us so they won't hear if we make a mess. I'll be right back. Nope, I can't make it quiet. Cancel.
Yeah.
Hey guys, Ron in the booth. Sorry to bump in, but just wanted to say congrats. Nice race. Great finish for both of you.
Yeah, thank you. It's a 1-2.
Yeah, you qualified up front. You finished up front. Swap spots. I think, Eric, were you involved in that turn one?
Yeah, that was me. I spun out from the lead.
Oh,
I just got on the curve, and that was it.
oh man.
They lose it just immediately when curve.
Turn one, lap one. It's always fun at Watkins Glen. I think I've seen it almost every time a bunch of people race here.
Yeah, I mean, I recovered. I had a shot on the last lap there. I took it and just overstepped a little bit. But,
Yeah, I saw
I'm
you.
glad we could 1-2 for the team. We got 1-2 at Monza for qualifying, then locked it out the entire race weekend. So really
Nice.
happy about it.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool. Great race for both of you. Luke, great win. Man,
you.
you were out. You were putting on a clinic, man. You were out front. Did the tires wear out? Is that how Eric caught you, or what was the deal there at the end?
Yeah, worn tires, low fuel. Second to last corner, and I kind of spun out.
Yeah.
Once we got onto low fuel, I probably should have put a little bit more rear wing into it because it got really unstable. Luckily, we were able to hold on enough to where they didn't catch us. I mean, we both made mistakes there, but
yeah,
it was good enough.
Well, Luke, you were putting on a clinic, man. You were out front. You were flying. It was super exciting to watch. I saw the gaps close there, close to the end. It was really fun though. It was really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, Chris made it down. I was gonna jump up there, but
nice race, guys.
That was
awesome. No, great race. It was a race of attrition for sure for me. Didn't make any mistakes. I feel fortunate to have gotten a podium. Eric was flying. The guy got into an incident, it looked like, and he came hauling past me and kept going. And I know Adam had some issues. I don't know what happened there, but I just was right place, right time. So I'd like to thank Bigg Wizurd TV and Procraft for putting the race on.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for having a great show to put on.
Yeah,
I think Adam was with lap traffic. He got tangled up in some lap traffic and got turned around, but he ended up getting a P6 out of it, or P5 out of it. So he came back. Christian had a little bad last lap. He was doing the loop-de-loops.
Like I said, I didn't make any mistakes, and Christian had one little deal. He was flying too, so it's a tough group. Everybody's really fast here, so it's going to be a very interesting season.
Indeed. Well, congrats, guys, on the podium. Great job, everybody, on the race. I'll be jumping back down to the booth and close up my broadcast. But man, thanks a huge amount for the great show. We're gonna have to get some like they do in F1. Get you guys some virtual champagne bottles or something. Maybe if you're not 21, we could use some sparkling cider. Maybe, I don't know. But thanks again
Sounds
for a great race.
fantastic.
Yeah, that was fun.
Have a good night, all.
Yeah, you too.
All right. Well, there's your top three: Luke Peters, Eric Heater, Chris Springer on the podium tonight. Wow, what a race! That was incredible. That was a great race. The the tires tonight definitely were a factor, but just a lot of fun. We'll go ahead and bring this down to a close tonight. Big thanks to Zerrybug and Philip for running tonight with me here in the booth. Appreciate you guys being on the chat. Hope to see you again next week. We got another fun one coming up at Fuji. The W12 is insane. It's so much fun to watch. The car, it just sticks like glue to the ground, and it's just really cool. So hope you can watch that next week. And we will see everybody next time. Now, hey, just as a close on my broadcast, I always like to say, if you're going to race, don't race on the road. Race on the track. If you don't have a track, then get iRacing and race with us. But don't race. Don't be dangerous. Be safe. Be kind. Be nice to each other. Smile. Have a great day. And we'll see you on the next one. Good night, all.